Rarely has mankind hesitated to eradicate the creatures that stand in the path of his conquest. If we find intelligent species, ritual extirpation of undesirable beings, odors from another world, the rest must be destroyed. Is it possible that our dark past might repeat itself? Watch them and pray.
Greetings, ladies, gentlemen, government agents, graduating high school students, mistakenly hopeful about the future, and anyone who might be listening. This is Close Encounters of the Podcast Kind. I'm your host, Tasker, and we have Nick.
Speaking about being mistakenly hopeful for the future, I am afraid of Star Wars' future. Okay, now I know this is coming out of left field.
Not entirely. We're talking about UFOs. That's kind of Star Wars-y.
Exactly, right? And look, I went back and I watched all 9 of the main saga movies.
In a row?
Yes. Well, not in like the same day, but like in a row, yes.
Okay.
This last week, I've split them up. And I have come to and I'm standing by my decision that I've stood by for years. The prequels are the best of the trilogy of the saga. And then it goes, so it's prequels, original, and then sequels as far as best to worst.
So my major take before I really say anything is, what is it about the prequels that make it better than the originals?
Political drama and more lightsaber battles. That's literally all you fucking need in a movie.
Uh-huh. I respectfully disagree. Part of me thinks you like the prequels because now that it's been such a big meme now and there's so many meme scenes, that just makes it automatically more enjoyable because there's so much more relatability to it that it didn't have before.
You're not wrong. Like the meme, of course, it's going to impact society. It's going to impact our thoughts. But you also have to remember, I grew up with the prequels. I was introduced to Star Wars with The Phantom Menace. Mm-hmm. And it was, of course, after The Phantom Menace that I learned about A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi and all that shit. And it was fine. Those are great. Don't get me wrong. They're great movies. The prequels are just better. How do you beat Attack of the Clones? How the fuck do you beat Attack of the Clones?
Yeah, you beat Attack of the Clones. You get a nice pillow, you put it behind your head, you close your eyes, and you wake up and you see the credits. That's how you beat that goddamn film. It's the most sleeper, boring, like uninteresting, nothing happens film I think I've ever seen. The last time I tried to watch it, I shut it off.
Dude, there's a Colosseum scene right on Geonosis where they're like, it's just like Rome back in the day, you know, except for instead of lions, you get like reeks and shit. Oh man, it's the best, dude. And then fucking Padme and that skimpy little, come on.
You know what? How about this? Before we get into this and spend the first 30 minutes of our episode talking about something completely unrelated, like usual, we should save an episode where we can just talk about Star Wars. How about that?
I would like that. And can we don't have to relate it to anything that we do, right? Can it just be like a one-off where we just talk about Star Wars?
Yeah, maybe we could do it this next year in May, because I know there's that May the 4th be with you thing. We could do that in celebration of that.
All right, fine. Then you guys heard it here first. This coming next May, we are going to just have a rant. It's just going to be an episode of Tasker and I yelling at each other about Star Wars, all right?
Yep, sounds good to me. Nothing more entertaining than planning a podcast on a podcast, huh?
That's the only way we can have accountability, because then our listeners are there to be like, hey, you said.
That's right. Accountability is important. And and that's, we're reaching out to you to make sure that we stand by what we're saying to do, because there's a lot of stuff we say and we come through. Do we?
Oh yeah. I mean, hey, we'll never let the listeners down. That's one thing that we refuse to do.
True. So, of course, normally it's at the end of the episode. So, that Count Chocula episode, like, we ain't bullshitting you. We come through. Don't worry.
That's right. But you know what, bro? I do miss having you literally 2 feet away from me like we were last week and we were recording. That was nice. So, but now we're back to the fucking dumb computer screens.
Yeah, we're back to it. We're separated again. It was nice. I had a little adventure to Nick's, dungeon / bomb shelter / I don't even know what else you would call it, but escape from reality.
Piss dungeon. I just remembered. Oh shit. Okay, so I did piss in a bottle again on Friday.
Wow.
Because dude, we were like, long story short, I had to. Okay. I forgot it's still on the desk. I need to do something about that. I will straight up show you if you don't believe me. It's fucking. It's over there.
I'm okay with not seeing that.
Okay.
I believe you.
But I'm glad you reminded me, though. I need to dump that after we record.
Oh God. So of course today we're getting into something that I think has been on the top of all of our minds lately. I mean, I had a lot of time to think about it, on the drive home from, Nick's hidden spot in the universe. But at one point I ended up getting caught in some historic traffic in the desert for 12 hours. And I ended up in Vegas for a little bit. I'll say that. And a lot of fucking people because it was 4th of July weekend. Much larger Indian population than I expected, but who fucking knows? Who cares? Like, it's just everyone's trying to get the fuck out of wherever they're fucking at. 'Cause this is the first weekend that Vegas was open.
Okay, before you continue with the story, I need to know, by Indian, do you mean like the Skinwalker Indians, or do you mean like the Curry Indians? Which ones are we talking about?
I'm talking about Indians from India.
Mm.
If I'm talking about Native Americans, I'm going to call them Native
Indians.
Americans. I'm not going to call them that. And now you can see why that is such a derogatory term.
Okay, fair. Okay, so they were from India. Oh, and you're
Yes.
saying there's a lot of them in Vegas right now?
There was a large Indian population there. It was large enough for me to be like, wow, there's a lot of folks like speaking Hindi here that I did not expect. But so it goes. I don't know if that's like a big vacation spot, kind of like how people from Japan tend to visit Hawaii a lot on vacation. That's pretty
Which is
precedented.
fucked in my opinion, by the way. I've never ever. Well, why? Why? Because what are they going to plan on how to
Pearl
bomb it
Harbor?
again? What are they trying to figure out the trajectory of their next attack?
No, it's because it's the fucking closest thing from when you fly out from there. What are they going to do? Visit China?
I mean, there's less stigma if they did. I mean, for fuck's sake,
Stigma? Are you kidding me?
When
You
I
know
go-
how
when
fucking bad it was between Japan and China.
fuck them. I don't give a shit. They're on their end of the world. Leave Hawaii out of this. Look, when I go back and visit family in Hawaii and stuff, I see, you're right. There are a lot of Japanese tourists there. And every time they make a sudden move, I flinch a little bit just in case. Just in case.
You're part Japanese, though. And actually, the fact that you're from Hawaii and part Japanese, I think, explains a lot.
I know. I don't know who to side with. I'm siding with Hawaii, though, because they're smaller and they're a gentle people.
You were the product of a vacation romance.
Oh, fuck. I might be.
Gotta go on Ancestry, man. Gotta go and check in on that.
Look, to alienate more groups of people, look, I want to say that there's a lot of stuff going on in India right now as far as this alleged COVID pandemic is concerned.
Well, they
right?
have I think the Lambda variant. I know in America we have the Delta variant that's ripping through everybody who's like not vaccinated. So it's not great.
Look, I'm just gonna say this, guys, and I always say this with a caveat as if this is happening, right?
Yeah,
because I can't say for sure. I'm not a scientist, right? And I don't trust scientists anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Right.
But if there are variants, deadly, like crazy variants in India, why are Habib and all of his buddies
Oh my God.
fucking coming over to here? Like, I don't understand why they can't just keep their shit where their shit belongs. No, I'm not saying it to be like racist or xenophobic. It's just kind of like common courtesy. Like if America was fucked, right, and we had our own, we had Delta. Let's say Delta was a lot worse than it is, and we're a lot more populated like India was. I'm pretty sure most people would not go to another country.
Oh, well, it shouldn't be a problem to you because COVID doesn't exist, right? So why do you care?
It's the principle of it, right? If this happens, if this exists, that's so selfish of them,
It's
right?
a very curious time to take a moral high ground, you fucking piece of shit.
Well, I'm just saying, it's frustrating. It's fucking obnoxious.
I think you just don't like Indian people or anybody who's not like you.
Anybody who makes food that smells like old diapers.
It's not true. Indian food is fucking delicious.
I don't know, man. I've had a lot of Indian food, and a lot of Indian food has had its way with my butthole. All right, it makes some real fuck shit over there.
To quote your fucking favorite goddamn movie, you have done that yourself.
I love Revenge of the Sith. I love it.
I will admit, Revenge of the Sith was good. I liked it.
But hey, that's just what I think. Tasker, you didn't hug any of these guys, did you?
Why would I hug a complete stranger in Vegas of all places?
I don't, just because, like, I don't know, they kind of seem like teddy bear like, because they're all kind of hairy and brown.
Okay, horoscopes today. How's yours looking?
Okay. The possibility of your pursue of you. Fuck. Let me redo that. The possibility of your pursuing new career opportunities, perhaps with more pay, might cause doubts and insecurities among family members. Cancer. Holy shit.
Oh.
They could be afraid that you will have less time for them. It's important that you reassure them, as their worries might escalate if you just let it slide. Make it clear that you're still there for them. This might alleviate their doubts and yours.
So what brunches have you been canceling, Nick?
Well, I cancel all of my activities because I'm a fucking social recluse. But as you know, Tasker, this horoscope's scarily accurate, I would say, in my life. As you know, I'm going through some changes. Somebody else I know is going through some changes as far as career goes. Like, I'll let the listeners know. I don't give a fuck. They don't even know who I am anyway.
True. So far,
I'm quitting my job in a month. Like, I literally a month from tomorrow is my last day, and I'm going back to school for something that I've been wanting to do for a long time, and I just have been too fucking idiotic to take anything seriously. So that is a big change, and this horoscope is accurate.
Okay, are you going back to school for MUFON? Because that's you're getting scammed. That's not a real school. They're fucking conning you.
It's called MUFON University.
There's no ufology degree.
No,
obviously, obviously that's not real. Nick's actually getting a real degree, but
yeah, I'm gonna go to school for psychology.
Ooh, yeah, learning the human brain.
And who better to do it than a crazy person, man? Wouldn't you trust me with your brain?
Mm-hmm.
You already have, man. I've been your best friend for like 11 years. It's too late, bro.
Yep, guns to the head, and it's never going away.
That's right.
Yeah, see, there's like a double thing there because shooting your brain. Anyways,
no, it was a suicide joke. Very tasteful. I like it. It was better than my Indian jokes.
Those were
not as tasteful.
Low hanging fruit. You might as well have been picking it from the goddamn ground.
I know. I felt bad about that, but hey, it's not my problem. Stay out of my country, you know.
No, Jesus Christ. Well,
I'm just kidding.
Glad you have a bright future ahead of you.
Come back to my country once you guys got your shit settled with COVID.
Mm.
Anyway, my stars. Sex is a 4 out of 5. I guess that makes sense. I've been working out so goddamn hard. My testosterone levels have been through the roof.
Makes sense.
My hustle's a 2 out of 5. My vibe is a 2 out of 5. Success is a 4 out of 5.
Not bad.
Not bad. I mean, I feel the hustle. I'm not feeling very hustly today, but I feel like my vibe is higher than 2. So I don't know about all that.
Yeah. Well, it's also a free horoscope site. You know, there's variance there.
Yeah. Fucking witches. All right. How's yours looking?
So, new ideas for increasing your income, particularly if they involve extra work, could suddenly seem vague and uncertain today, Scorpio. Doubts and insecurities could sabotage the plans you were so ready for yesterday. Don't let that happen. Talk to others and judge what is and isn't workable, then concentrate on the former and move ahead. You don't want to miss some good opportunities.
Well, I'll be a son of a bitch.
It's one of the first times I think horoscopes has really kind of nailed it because if you guys, if you're a longtime listener, you've probably noticed not a lot of love in my discussion of my career as an artist.
Yeah.
So I am actually might be dropping the pencil and moving to something a little bit more secure.
Yeah, and this way also, so basically what he's saying is both of us will be in school together, just like we were like 10 years ago, and we're just doing it again. But also, what this is good for you because by switching out of being an artist as a career choice, you're lowering your chances of starting a Reich.
I'm also lowering my chances of just mental health deficiency and probably suicide.
Yeah, just like Hitler.
Yeah, Hitler did die of suicide, so you know.
Allegedly. Yeah, man. So I'm happy for you. We're both going to be going back to school. We're going to be like, "How was school today, Dancer? Oh, it's good. My school was good today too.
So fun. Like, oh yeah, did you pack your lunch? Oh yeah, no, my mom gave me my Ninja Turtles lunchbox this time.
Yeah, and the kids bullied me because I didn't have a chocolate in my lunchbox.
All the new recent high school grads.
Yeah, they're like, "Hey, look at this fucking guy. What are you 70?"
Yeah, pulling my beard and trimming it, and it's embarrassing. But we're about 15 minutes in, so we should probably move forward. But sex is a 2 out of 5, hustle's a 2 out of 5, vibes a 2 out of 5, success is a 3 out of 5. I would say that's feeling pretty accurate. A lot of big changes going on in both the Nick and I's lives. Don't expect that to really affect the podcast too much, but I just want to. I think it's a very important thing to state at the beginning of this show, especially because we're talking about a subject that is what was supposed to be a big turning point in ufology and how we view, aliens as a whole with our government.
Yeah, keyword supposed. All right, and we're gonna get into that. We're going to talk about the but let's get into it. Yes, it is that time, guys. Welcome back. Now we're gonna do something kind of fun today because the dust has finally settled and the people have stopped pooping their pampers with false excitement about certain ufological things in the news lately. And we will, of course, be dissecting and discussing the supposed UFO disclosure. I put those in hard quotes.
Yeah.
All right. That report that we got from the Pentagon here in the US last month.
Right. It's if you've been listening to the past couple episodes, there's been some hype growing about this. There's a lot of, I know Nick was really excited. I was really interested because I was ready to be proven wrong. And the big joke that we've been saying is, what's going to happen is everything is going to be inconclusive. And spoiler alert, that's exactly just about what happened.
Yeah. I mean, we saw it coming. We wanted to cover it, but we were kind of waiting until everybody stopped shitting themselves about it. So now that the dust is settled, let's do this. But that's going to be the first part of today's episode and a majority of it. But we will also be discussing a new recent sighting of a UFO caught on camera involving the United States Navy that we just got last month, and it's actually kind of a dope one.
Ooh.
So very recent, which is cool. And also the way that we got it is really cool too. I'll get more into that later.
Perfect.
So without further delay, people, grab your top secret security clearance badges, waterboard some minorities, and then run for president of the United States because we are diving right into this shit.
Nice. Nice way of introducing it. So,
well, hey, look, how do you want to be president or not? You have to meet certain criteria. You have to waterboard brown people, and you have to like be top secret and like suck other people's wieners in the government so that you can keep their secrets.
Is that kind of like almost like, well, and how sad is it that a lot of places do really work like a frat? Like that's why fraternities are perfect for learning how to get jobs, because more or less most high-end business is just a big frat with just, you're making a fuck ton of money, you wear suits, and you can't just openly carry your vodka soda. You have to sort of have it in like a thermos.
Yeah, it's pretty much that shit, except on the business end and the political end of these basically what are frat societies. People are getting killed and people are having sex with kids.
Yeah, their hazing is not just getting paddled anymore. Now it's just, straight up war crimes.
Yep, exactly. So, hey, if you want to be president, you know what you got to do.
Mm-hmm. I remember reading somewhere, they said that in order to be president, you really do have to be a sociopath in some degree.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, by the way, yeah, we put it on our Discord, but another one of our fucking YouTube videos got taken down. Not a coincidence.
Yeah, I did think it was funny that it was episode 69, but even more funnier that it was the liberal elites adrenochrome one.
Yeah, and I don't think it's a coincidence that one and then the Bill and Hillary Clinton one got taken down. There's something fucking going on there, all right? Now, I'm kind of worried about my safety.
Well, now you're back in the school system. It'll just be easier to find you, so be careful.
Oh, fuck.
Yep.
Oh, well, whatever. Fuck them. Have them take whatever. I'm armed.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And yeah, that was a fun thing. When I visited Nick, he showed me how to use it, and nobody got hurt.
That's right. Nobody except for me.
Yeah, internally.
So, well, when you
Socially, how bad was I with that gun?
No. I meant psychologically because I was like, yeah, I could just pull the trigger right now. I could just pull this thing right now, and nobody would know except for everybody upstairs. And I have to take them out too. I have to kill all three of them, and they would be. And the dog can start talking. I have to kill him too.
It's a lot of work.
Fuck that. I don't have the ammo to waste.
Yep, exactly. That's good impulse control. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
I was gonna say socially, did you actually lose friends over this?
Yeah, man. When I start breaking the gun out when we're wasted, there all of a sudden nobody wants to be friends with me anymore.
Suddenly nobody wants to come over and people are freaking out.
All right, people. Well, first things first, like I said, we are going to read through and pick apart the officially released document from the government concerning what they call UAPs, the report that we got last month. Now, up top, I will say I don't agree with the term UAP because it's dumb. There's no reason to call them UAPs, which, by the way, for those who don't know or don't know your acronyms, it's called UAP stands for Unidentified Aerial Phenomenon. Okay?
Right. You said it's very kind of like they're trying to smear over the UFO name and like make it sound like less, cool.
Right, because they're trying to make it sound more bureaucratic, and it just sounds dumb. Like UAP, ICUP, I spell ICUP. It all sounds the same.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, it is kind of like a. I know there's a word for it, but it's a very not presumptuous, but feels very not very kind to the UFO community.
Right. It's unnecessary in my opinion. So here's how it's going to go down, my dudes and dudettes and the ones in between who aren't quite sure what you are. In the report, I will be reading it verbatim, so I will be saying UAP and unidentified aerial phenomenon. But on the rest of the episode, I refuse to call it that and will be referring to them as UFOs.
Right. So we can do this. We should have talked about this beforehand, planning the podcast as we go. But do we want to just read one section? We'll take a minute to just talk about what the fuck, or are we just going to just go off the cuff?
Let's read a section, talk about dissect what we're talking about. Because here's the problem with this report. It's saying a lot of nothing by saying a lot of something. So we need to kind of pick it apart and see what they're actually trying to say, if anything. And I think so. Let's read a section. Let's discuss it. Let's see what these assholes are talking about, and then we'll move on to the next one.
All right, sounds good. And do you want to trade off, or how you feeling with this?
Let's trade off. Yeah, let's trade off.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, so I have the PDF open here. It is a whole 9 pages, those assholes, dude. They had so much time. They had so much time to prepare this thing, and they came up with 9 pages, one of which is a cover page.
Yeah, and it's just the fact that we're even able to read through the entirety of it on the podcast. That says a lot of how little effort was put into this.
Absolutely ridiculous. But what more do you expect? So, okay, here's the cover page. At the top, it says unclassified. It has a seal, and the seal is for the Office of the Director of National Intelligence.
Wow.
And it says preliminary assessment, unidentified aerial phenomena, the 25th of June, 2021. That's the official release date of this report.
Unclassified.
Yeah, as if this shit was classified before.
And I think it's a fun thing to note that most classified documents are really fucking boring and not really cool at all. So I think this is a testament, unless they're giving us a fake, a bit of a red herring,
Honestly, and this is something we can elaborate on later, but here's what I'm thinking with this report. It looks like somebody's secretary wrote this at their desk, their receptionist, right? I'm pretty sure this was never classified, and I'm pretty sure this is just them bullshitting for 9 pages.
Yeah, it's the classic. We got to give them something. So it's America. They'll fucking drink it up because it has our seal on it.
Yeah, they're too busy getting bogged down by the chemicals in the McDonald's burgers and shit.
That's how they get you.
All right, so here is page 2. And this is where the report officially starts with a section known as Scope and Assumptions. So first off, scope. This preliminary report is provided by the Office of the Director of National Intelligence in response to the provision in Senate Report 116-233. My burp was more interesting than that sentence.
Yeah. So we're leaving it in.
Accompanying the, I can't say that word. Can you say that? Accompanying. Okay, thank you. The Intelligence Authorization Act for fiscal year 2021, that the DNI, in consultation with the Secretary of Defense, is to submit an intelligence assessment of the threat posed by unidentified aerial phenomena and the progress the Department of Defense Unidentified Aerial Phenomena Task Force has made in understanding this threat. That's probably one of the few pieces of information that's interesting in this report to me. Is I did not know that there was an official Department of Defense Unidentified Aerial Phenomena Task Force.
Yeah, that is new. That was something I didn't realize there was so many like actual groups like dedicated, which I don't know. Part of me also feels like those are like the burner groups, you know, kind of like fucking like Space Force. Like they're not really doing any, like you got a couple fanatics on there like occasionally, but there's like, you know, most of the time when you get sent there, it's like, cool. I'm gonna bring my Switch to work.
Yeah, it's like the beginning of X-Files when it's like they shoved him in like some little dingy basement, and she basically got sent to work with him. Yeah, I feel you, man. So they're probably just up there with their thumbs up their asses, and most of them don't even care about the phenomenon. So
I believe it.
This report provides an overview for policymakers of the challenges associated with characterizing the potential threat posed by UAP, while also providing a means to develop relevant processes, policies, technologies, and training for the U.S. military and other U.S. government personnel if and when they encounter UAP, so as to enhance the intelligence community's ability to understand the threat. The director of the UAPTF, the task force, is the accountable official for ensuring the timely collection and consolidation of data on UAP. The data set described in this report is currently limited primarily to U.S. government reporting of incidents occurring from only November 2004 to March of 2001. Data continues to be collected and analyzed.
So this is just a small sample size. And most major alien activity all happened around the 80s, you said, right?
Dude, yes, like the 50s through the 80s, there was a lot of awesome UFO sighting cases. I'm sure they have a lot of stuff as far as the military goes regarding a lot of these sightings and stuff, but they're only giving us like the bitch stuff from 2004 to 2021.
That's actually very clever of them. Oh, here's our big UFO expose. But if you read the fine print, it's only from 2004 onward, where nothing really happened. All the juicy stuff is still classified. Curious.
Very strange how that works, huh?
Yeah, that's see, this is why you got to read shit.
Bastards. See, and that's the problem, is they put this out and they didn't think anybody would read it. We're reading it.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, nobody thought they would read the scope. They go, they scroll right down to the juicy stuff.
Exactly. I am going to skip this next paragraph because it's literally just a bunch of acronyms. And okay, fine. Oh, you guys want to hear Nick read acronyms? Is my voice that sultry? Okay.
They're trying to go to sleep and they need the lullaby.
Okay, all right, here it goes. I'm going to sound like a retarded alphabet machine.
Let's hear it. I'm excited.
ODNI prepared this report for the Congressional Intelligence and Armed Services Committees. UAPTF and the ODNI National Intelligence Manager for Aviation drafted this report with input from USD, DIA, FBI, NRO, NGA, NSA, Air Force, Army, Navy, Navy/ONI, DARPA, FAA, NOAA, NGA, ODNI/NIM, Emerging and Disruptive Technology, ODNI/National Counterintelligence and Security Center, and ODNI/National Intelligence Council.
Say that 12 times fast. Jeez.
Yeah. I don't even know what they said. I guess it's just a bunch of, I don't know. I guess it's just a bunch of agencies that were in on this report. I don't know.
It's like, it sounds like it'd be something on like some like Eminem album. It's like USD, DIA, FBI, NRO, NGA, NSA, Air Force, Army, Navy, blah, 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 blah. I'm a rapper.
That was my equivalent of Rap God. That was the best I could do.
Very good. Very we can't rob you of anything, you know. We got to give you the full report like we said we were going to.
All right, why don't you take the next section here, Tasker?
Okay. This next section is titled Assumptions. Various forms of sensors that register UAP generally operate correctly and capture enough real data to allow initial assessments, but some UAP may be attributable to sensor anomalies.
Oh, what a load of crap.
Yeah, wow. That was it. That was the entire section.
Oh, was it? Oh my God. Okay. So basically all they're saying is, yeah, our cameras and sensors and our radars can pick up some of this stuff, but also maybe there's something wrong with the cameras and the radars.
Yep. Shit, basically, we have the stuff that can record it, but also shit might be fucked for whatever reason. So in other words, yeah, we don't have to tell you shit. Yeah, basically what they're saying.
A bunch of assholes, man.
Oh man. All right, you want me to jump on this next one?
Yeah, why don't you jump on this next one, because you got a little tiny one.
Yeah, that sounds good. So this is the executive summary. This is the beginning of page 3. The limited amount of high quality reporting on unidentified aerial phenomena hampers our ability to draw firm conclusions about the nature or intent of UAP. So right out the gate, Nick, how are you feeling?
First off, will they define what they consider high quality reporting? Because
it's a good point. It's a very good point.
Because if not, they're full of shit. So
yeah. So right now it's just like the bullshit meter is like it's already full. Like it's not even.
It's so basically here's how this episode goes. The bullshit meter started at 100%. We're seeing if we can get it down any lower.
Yeah. Exactly. That's a very good way to put it. And so far, it's not looking good.
And they bolded that sentence too. I just want everybody to know.
They want to make sure that if you're one of those skimmers, that was one of the few things that you did read.
Basically saying it's inconclusive because there's like not a lot of high quality reporting.
Yeah, well, you know, we just, and like I said, they don't define that. Well, let's see. Under it says the Unidentified Aerial Phenomena Task Force considers a range of information on UAP described in U.S. military and intelligence community reporting, but because the reporting lacks sufficient specificity, ultimately recognized that a unique, tailored reporting process was required to provide the sufficient data for analysis of UAP events. And now we have 2 bullet points. The first says, as a result, the task force concentrated its review on reports that occurred between 2004 and 2021, the majority of which are a result of this new tailored process to better capture UAP events through formalized reporting. So basically they're saying the reason we have this only the small little sample size is because we only started giving a shit at 2004.
Yeah, I guess they just came up with some fucking photocopied like form that the military personnel could fill out if they saw one. That's dumb.
Yeah. How interesting that it was around the time when Photoshop was more like easily available was when suddenly they're interested.
Yeah, and it was only 3 years after 9/11 too.
Also interesting. Second bullet point says, most of the UAP reported probably do represent physical objects, given that a majority of UAP were registered across multiple sensors to include radar, infrared, electro-optical, weapon seekers, and visual observations.
I will give them credit for that paragraph, for that little sentence then, because at least they're saying that it's not like most of them aren't camera faults or most of them aren't radar faults.
Yeah, like what we saw were objects. It's not like it was a blip or a glitch.
I'll give them some credit. I'd say my bullshit meter's at about 98% right now.
Yeah, it would have been lower, but after that previous one, it's just like spilling on the floor. It's disgusting. Oh, God. Okay, let's see. In a limited number of incidents, UAP reportedly appeared to exhibit unusual flight characteristics. These observations could be the result of sensor errors, spoofing, or observer misperceptions and require additional rigorous analysis.
Okay, hold on. Let's pick this apart. Sensor errors, sure. I was expecting that excuse.
Always.
Spoofing, though?
What is spoofing?
Like, I think they mean that it's a hoax. Like somebody
Oh.
somebody was able to get these objects to move the way they did as through some kind of hoax. Like, what is Merlin like controlling these with his magic? Like, what are they fucking talking about?
Yeah, very a very interesting choice of words. I feel like they spent all of their effort on the rhetoric instead of, actually just trying to figure this shit out.
Yeah, dude. Oh, I'm already upset. My bullshit meter's back up to 100.
Let's see. Observer misperception, another to be expected, and so basically some could require more analysis. That's basically kind of what they're saying here.
Yeah, but I doubt they did more analysis. It says that it probably requires it, but they're too lazy to do it.
Yep. No good. No good. Let's see. There are probably multiple types of UAP requiring different explanations based on the range of appearances and behaviors described in the available reporting. Our analysis of the data supports the construct that if and when individual UAP incidents are resolved, they will fall into one of 5 potential explanatory categories: airborne clutter, natural atmospheric phenomena, USG or U.S. industry developmental programs, foreign adversary systems, and a catch-all other bin.
Oh, that hurts.
So basically, wait, okay, so what is USG or U.S. developmental pro? There's a lot of big words in here, but so it sounds like it's either they're saying it could be, just natural shit that happens in our atmosphere that we just don't really understand because it hasn't been discovered or whatever the bullshit. Could be a U.S. like program of something that we're working on that they don't want to talk about. Could be something from a foreign nation, which I know that's half the reason they even did this report, because they were worried that it was like China or something like that. Or other.
Yike. And they even they even said themselves it's a catch-all other bin. Which takes balls to say. That it's basically like a category we don't give a shit about. So I'll give them points for that. But airborne clutter, that's probably the most retarded thing I've ever heard of in my life. I'm not a pilot, but hear me out. If there's something in the sky that is moving in a strange way very quickly, can't be identified as a plane because it's definitely not shaped like a plane, but you don't see any other planes out there, where's the clutter? And how do you misinterpret that with airborne clutter?
Hard to say. I mean, yeah, a lot of this is very dodgy. They're definitely giving themselves a lot of outs. And I feel like this entire first part of the report is this is why we're not going to tell you dick.
Because they're just letting us know up front. You guys are in for a shit show of nothing. Natural atmospheric phenomenon. That's a fancy way of, this is the oldest. This is 100% the oldest trick in the book when it comes to gaslighting fucking ufologists. Okay, because basically they're saying in fancy words, it's swamp gas, assholes.
Weather balloons and fucking, I don't know, clouds.
Meteor shower is like, why don't you go fuck yourself? I know what a meteor shower looks like. Okay.
Oh man. Yeah, it's like you said, this is kind of the works. This is like the shit you've been hearing for years.
And the sad thing is, Tasker, and this is true, the sad thing is most people who did read this are falling for it. Most of the general population will be like, well, it makes sense. Oh, the government's telling me this. It must be true. But I'm reading between the lines. They're basically calling us a bunch of retards because they're like, we can tell you anything and you have to believe it.
Yeah, we got the seal. And the worst part is they're right. Most people will just read it and be like, oh, okay, no aliens.
I'm already upset, dude. Bullshit meter is at about 110 right now.
Spilling over, ruining your new carpet and everything. All right, the next little paragraph says, UAP clearly pose a safety of flight issue and may pose a challenge to U.S. national security. Safety concerns primarily center on aviators contending with an increasingly cluttered air domain. UAP would also represent a national security challenge if they are a foreign adversary collection if they are foreign adversary collection platforms or provide evidence a potential adversary has developed either as a breakthrough or disruptive technology.
So they're already jumping into this. So when you read the first sentence, UAP clearly pose a safety of flight issue and may pose a challenge to U.S. national security. When you read that,
right,
my bullshit meter went down a little bit because that's the smartest thing they said so far.
I agree, because even it's that whole thing of they're saying aliens or not, there's shit in the air that we can't explain. That's a problem. And that's something we need to figure out, because we have a lot of things flying around. We have a lot of important things flying around in the airspace. And we need to know if this shit's, alien or if it's from a different nation or foreign. Because they're basically saying, like, regardless, alien or not, this is why we're going out of our way to try to figure out what the fuck is going on.
Yes. Now, I was a little upset by the fact that they basically just jumped to the fact that it was probably foreign adversary collection platforms, whatever the fuck that is. So they're basically just saying that it's another nation. They didn't right now in this paragraph. They haven't even considered the fact that it could be extraterrestrial or extra dimensional.
Yep, the term has not been brought up a single time.
I hate these guys. I hate them.
I got one more little section, then we could do the old popcorn.
Woo!
Let's see. Consistent consolidation of reports from across the federal government, standardized reporting, increased collection and analysis, and a streamlined process for screening all such reports against a broad range of relevant USG data will allow for a more sophisticated analysis of UAP that is likely to deepen our understanding. Some of these steps are resource intensive and require additional investment.
Okay, so they're telling us there's a way, but they don't want to pay for it.
Hey, if you guys pay more tax, okay, how about this? If you fucking tax bitches, what the hell is up with it? I'm still mad. I'm surprised people are not talking about. I'm still mad about fucking Trump only paying $600, and it's not just him, but every rich fucking person is doing the exact same bullshit. Oh, it's because they're smart. No, it's because they're fucking criminals. That's why.
That's right. Yet here we are paying our taxes. Well, most of you guys, I'm not, and most of that tax money is going to, the government, of course, but they refuse to spend a little bit more money on researching something they literally a paragraph before this called a threat to national security.
Yeah.
That's a joke.
And yet they're still like, more money, please. So, and they're
money,
not
please.
They're like, increased collection. We need, let's see, hold on. And that's kind of a classic government thing, is they use really fancy college level wording to make it so you're just like, I don't give a fuck about what this is. But that's where we come in. We're going to read it out loud and we're going to dissect it a little bit and see, try to see through the rhetoric.
That's right, man. You never let fancy language stump you guys. If somebody's using fancy language unnecessarily, it's because they're hiding something. Like Frasier.
Exactly. Yeah. He knows that. It's a great show.
Yeah, great show. He uses a lot of fancy language because he's a pretentious asshole. So
yeah, he's just trying to confuse people and make you be like, oh, well, I don't know what he understood, so I guess he's smart. Even though what he said was just complete bullshit.
Yeah, man, I love that show.
So good. But yeah, basically, long story short, they're basically saying there are better ways of solving this and piecing this together, but we don't have the money for it.
Yeah, because it's going to come out of my bonus.
Boo. See if we tax the rich, which we should be fucking doing anyways, but foreign banks, bullshit, loopholes. Half of Trump's presidency was creating new loopholes to let the rich, get richer. There's a reason why Bezos made fucking 40 million during the pandemic, because Trump literally changed the system so that could happen. Jesus Christ. Anyways,
no, Tasker's onto something. He's onto something. Everybody, I want you to grab a weapon, grab your pitchforks. We'll start at local government, go to your local city hall, wreak havoc, and then we'll march to the White House.
Yep. I don't know.
Actually, don't take that seriously. Because I swear to God, if they come back and they listen to that and they're like, oh, Nick incited violence on fucking... They're like, well, I don't know, my listeners are a bunch of retards. That's the third time I've used that word in this episode. I got to stop, dude.
Yeah, good job.
I'm stopping. I'm not going to cuss the rest of the episode.
We'll see. But the problem is inciting insurrection, inciting violence is one thing when you're rich, but the problem is, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I do not believe you can afford to bunker up in Mar-a-Lago, you know, if shit went down.
Right. No, I can't even afford to bunker up in my own house right now. And I own it, kind of.
Yeah, so hard to say. So, you know, we'll leave the future to the people.
All right, that's fair. Let's jump into the next section, and I will say that the first sentence, well, it's just a section header, is in all capital letters, underlined, saying available reporting, largely inconclusive.
Mm-hmm.
There it is.
And that's the point where most people will click the fancy little X button, type in YouTube, and listen to their favorite lo-fi mix.
Yep, but not us. We're gonna dive into this and see just exactly what is inconclusive about this.
Exactly. Tell us more.
So the subheader below says limited data leaves most UAP unexplained with ... at the end. Like they're trying. I told you, somebody's receptionist wrote this shit.
Yeah, how very melodrama of them.
What is this, a fucking screenplay? All right. I just cussed. All right. Limited data and limited data and inconsistency in reporting are key challenges to evaluating UAP. No standardized reporting mechanism existed until the Navy established one in March of 2019. The Air Force subsequently adopted that mechanism in November 2021, but it remains limited to USG reporting. The task.
Sorry, I don't mean to.
Yes,
I don't mean to jump in. It's November 2020, not 2021.
Oh, thank you, 2020. Yes,
make sure we're doing it right.
2020.
People will call us out on that.
They'll be like, excuse me, you got the date wrong. Yeah. Are you dyslexic? Actually, yeah, I am. You got a problem with that, asshole?
He's like, come on, say it to my face instead of over the internet. I'll have over 100 confirmed kills.
What'd you fucking say to me, you fucking... The task force regularly heard anecdotally during its research about other observations that occurred, but which were never captured in formal or informal reporting by those observers.
So
they're claiming that a lot of these reports were anecdotal during the research. So like they went and interviewed people who may have seen it, but there's no hard evidence. Like they're saying that not every single one of these cases had like video evidence or sensor readings.
There was no clear operations involved. It's just sort of shit that happened on duty, and they just took them at their word for it, basically.
Right. And they're just like, you know what? Our personnel would totally lie to us about this, so we're just not going to count it at all.
Yeah, so it's witness testimony, which is, as we know, very unreliable.
But it's still something you shouldn't just brush off, especially if it's coming from people who work for you in the fucking U.S. military. When a superior comes to you and is like, what did you see? Are they going to stand there and lie to you? Because if they find out otherwise, you're screwed. You know?
True. They'll get, what is it? They put you in front of a tribunal and just like scream at you and then throw you in the hole or something like that.
Yeah, waterboard you, send you off to be a Scientologist or something.
Something like that.
All right, moving on. After carefully considering this information, the task force focused on reports that involved UAP largely witnessed firsthand by military aviators and that were collected from systems we considered to be reliable. These reports describe incidents that occurred between 2004 and 2021, with the majority coming in the last 2 years as the new reporting mechanism became better known to the military aviation community. We were able to identify one reported UAP with high confidence. In this case, we identified the object as a large deflating balloon.
How does that feel, Nick? What is your emotional state reading that?
Look, I know I'm smiling right now, but it's because I'm like so angry with our government that I don't think anybody's been this mad at the government since we started throwing tea off a harbor. You know what I mean? Oh wait, that was the British. Whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm mad.
I get it. I get it.
A large deflating balloon? What the fuck? Where'd the balloon come from? What are you talking about? Why is there a balloon in our atmosphere? That like a large balloon? I don't understand.
Oh man. Well, How about let's have you finish the rest of the section, and then we'll talk a little bit more about it.
Okay. All right. Well, the others remain unexplained, they say. Bullet point here, sub bullet point, 144 reports originated from USG sources. Of these, 80 reports involved observation with multiple sensors. And then a sub point says most reports described UAP as objects that interrupted pre-planned training or other military activity.
So they're kind of backpedaling a little bit, huh?
I don't know what they're trying to say here. Like, I don't know. Like, first they're talking about balloons, and then they're saying, well, then all of a sudden these fucking UFOs are interrupting our training with like aviation. Which, by the way, I'm not surprised because I'm sure the extraterrestrials aren't happy that we're progressing militarily. So, like, of course they're going to be interrupting us. Be like, hey, man, you guys want to be in the Federation? Y'all better calm. Y'all better stop bombing each other.
Yeah, it sounds to me like the government is just saying like these UAPs or UFOs, all that. It's just a big pain in our ass. I think that's kind of the point they're bringing up here. It's like the only reason we're researching this is because it's fucking annoying and it's getting in the way of our stuff. And we basically, like I said, they're very strategically not using the word UFO. They're just saying bullshit that's making our life more difficult that we can't explain. That's sort of what they're calling this whole deal. But the fact that they were only able to positively identify one as basically being like, you know, a balloon. That's just
a balloon, a large one.
Large deflating. So it hadn't quite fully undeflated or deflate. Wow, undeflated. That's that's a backwards word. But so yeah, it just sounds like to them they're saying like it's the same logic as this. We're playing a game of baseball and giant tumbleweed jumps through. Nobody knows the fuck a tumbleweed is, and they're just like, what the fuck? And they're getting really mad trying to figure it out just because it's interrupting, not realizing that that tumbleweed might be piloted by a small gray.
Yeah, the audacity of them to they're so selfish.
Yeah, they're treating it like a big thorn in their ass. They're like, yeah, we don't think it's anything. We have to look into it because of the potential threat to like our airspace and like the fact that it's like, because gas, especially for like oil for like jets and shit, ain't cheap. So the fact that it's hitting them in their wallets because they're like, we have to redo all of our exercises, costs us a fuck ton of money. So that's what they're basically saying. We're doing this because we fucking have to.
Yeah, probably for, like you said, because it's annoying to them and also because we're annoying the crap out of them. And they're like, fine, let's give them an official report to shut them up. We're obviously not going to tell them anything. And then we can all be done with this.
Oh, yeah. They're almost thinking like, we wish it was an alien so we could just shoot it down and move the fuck on. But
all right. Now, underneath that, the last part of this page is like a big, like shaded reddish box now it's entitled UAP collection challenges.
So it's the excuse box.
Yes, this is their big sorry box.
Yeah, we're sorry.
Sociocultural stigmas. What? Okay, and sensor limitations remain obstacles to collecting data on UAP. Although some technical challenges, such as how to appropriately filter out radar clutter to ensure safety of flight for military and civilian aircraft, are longstanding in the aviation community, while others are unique to the UAP problem set. What?
Yeah, I kind of read through that again. That's the thing. They're trying to confuse us, so we have to kind of be extra vigilant here. So social stigmas remain obstacles. So they're saying, well, people are so uptight about fucking UFOs that they consider that an obstacle for their hard business work.
Oh, brother.
But they're saying there are technical challenges in terms of the data they are receiving. There is they have to filter out a lot of the stuff that is obviously just like clutter and bullshit. So that way they can really hone in on what they're actually looking at. But they're also doing that not just to look. They're not doing that just to look for UFOs. They're doing it because you just have to do that in general in terms of their aircrafts and what and civilian stuff out there along with military. So They're just saying all the sensors they have are not built for looking for UFOs. They're built for looking for other shit. So when they find UFO shit, and you see, I'm using the UFO term.
Thank you.
Of course. It's like, they're just saying like, we don't have instruments built for that. And they have, it sounds like they are starting to like develop stuff that is more for like, as they call it, the UAP problem set. So they are saying they are starting to work on like, or they have stuff that they can dedicate towards the study of UAP, like UFO stuff. But they're basically saying, yeah, kind of, but like not really.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what they're best at, is giving a nice middle ground answer.
Yeah, interesting.
Then a bullet point underneath that. There's 3 bullet points. First one says, narratives from aviators in the operational community and analysts from the military and IC describe disparagement associated with observing UAP, reporting it, or attempting to discuss it with colleagues. Although the effects of these stigmas have lessened as senior members of the scientific, policy, military, and intelligence communities engage on the topic seriously in public, reputational risk may keep many observers silent, complicating scientific pursuit of the topic.
Well, the reason we don't discuss with our colleagues is because if I do, I might lose my fucking job because everyone's going to think I'm a goddamn lunatic.
Yeah, which, hey, look, government, whose problem is that in the first place? Because you assholes kept denying it for so long. People like me who talk about it look like crazy people. But now that you're trying to actually possibly do something about it and research it, and you're all, nobody will talk to me about it. Everybody thinks that they're crazy. It's like, whose fault is that? It's your fault because you called people crazy and denied it for so long.
It's the liar saying, everybody, why the fuck you lying? It's just, they're blaming people for what they've done.
Unbelievable. Oh my God, that's so infuriating. So infuriating, dude.
That was pretty bad.
Okay, next bullet point. The sensors mounted on U.S. military platforms are typically designed to fulfill specific missions. As a result, those sensors are not generally suited for identifying UAP, like you said, Tasker.
Yeah, the tech is not, they don't have dedicated technology for finding UFOs. And that's kind of the biggest excuse overall. It's like, dude, this shit's not for fucking like finding alien life. This shit is for tracking our military planes.
There's a problem with that for me, though, is like, look, if your sensors have trouble tracking it, it's probably not us, and it's probably not anybody. It's not human. So, and it's not swamp gas. So what is it?
Well, here's an idea. If it poses a threat to national security, let's fucking make some. Let's get some real sensors dedicated for this kind of shit.
Yeah, come on, guys. You were just talking about national security, and now you don't have the balls.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Last bullet point. Sensor vantage points and the number of sensors concurrently observing an object play substantial roles in distinguishing UAP from known objects and determining whether a UAP demonstrates breakthrough aerospace capabilities. Optical sensors have the benefit of providing some insight into relative size, shape, and structure. Radio frequency sensors provide more accurate velocity and range information.
Oof. Tech.
It doesn't even sound like they're making an excuse there. They're just telling us what their shit does.
Yeah, it sounds like they're just describing like what they have, and they're just kind of like putting their balls on the table for a sec. Hey, see how big they are?
Look at that. Look what I can do with my radio frequency. Yeah.
So let's see, huh? There's one part, play substantial roles in distinguishing UAP. Whether a UAP demonstrates breakthrough aerospace capabilities. So they're just saying, like, our tech is like good enough, but like it also might not be. So it's kind of it's almost kind of like just redundant.
They're flip-flopping still.
Yeah, they're flip-flopping a lot. They're saying, let's see, if you can provide more accurate velocity. So they're also saying, too, there's different pieces and different technology that measures different things, with some being more accurate than others, and that there are some cases of UAP stuff being recorded by an inaccurate device, and that might attribute to why it's a UAP instead of something more clear.
Fuck. I'm still not giving them points, man, because that was a big no-no. This whole section was a big no-no for me.
Yep, the excuses page.
All right, guys. So we're still in the same section, but there's another a subheader here that says, but some potential patterns do emerge. First off, if I remember correctly from high school English, you're not supposed to start sentences with "but."
Well, it is a title, so I guess there's that.
Man, their receptionist better been paid well for this.
Honestly, you worked really hard on this.
Although there was wide variability in the reports and the data set is currently too limited to allow for detailed trend or pattern analysis, there was some clustering of UAP observations regarding shape, size, and particularly propulsion. UAP sightings also tended to cluster around U.S. training and testing grounds, but we assess that this may result from a collection bias as a result of focused attention, greater numbers of latest generation sensors operating in those areas, unit expectations, and guidance to report anomalies. I will half agree with this.
Mm-hmm. So it sounds like they're saying there are some similarities between UAPs and that there's like, in terms of like, like they said, how big they are, how they move, and that I think that's an important part of that they tend to cluster around training and testing grounds like military stuff and government installations. And so they are saying there are coincidences.
Right. And I will say that there could be some kind of bias here because of the things that they listed. It makes sense, right? If you have more military personnel around an area looking for threats in the sky, if you have a lot of super high-tech sensors in those areas, right, you kind of expect to see, it's like a statistics thing. You'll probably see or sense more UFOs, which fine, that makes sense. But at the same time, in my opinion, the reason why they're clustering at military bases is because they fucking hate us or they're working with us or both.
Yeah. But yeah, another thing that they really kind of point out here when they say collection result bias of focused attention, like you're making the point of, they constantly have surveillance on because it's a restrictive government private sector. So they always have the cameras on, and they're saying the shit might actually be happening everywhere because they're basically making excuses of this probably isn't alien shit. The only reason we're getting more unidentified bullshit is because we always have our cameras on. Whereas if we had our cameras on everywhere else, it probably would be everywhere.
Yeah, that's why I half agree with the section. Like, I get the bias thing for sure, but I think there's too much of a coincidence. When I'll talk a little bit about this later when we talk about that video.
Right.
The military, man, the Navy, something's going on there, but we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Got it.
And the final subheader for this section says, and a handful of UAP appear to demonstrate advanced technology. Again, starting your sentence with and. In 18 incidents described in 21 reports, observers reported unusual UAP movement patterns or flight characteristics. Yes, which is good. I mean, we've all seen the videos. We know that they move really fucking weird and unearthly, to be frank.
And these are just the ones from 2004.
Right. Some UAP appeared to remain stationary in winds aloft. Aloft? What are you, Robert Frost?
Do you remember the secretary was an English major?
Oh, right. Move against the wind, maneuver abruptly, or move at considerable speed without discernible means of propulsion. In a small number of cases, military aircraft systems processed radio frequency energy associated with UAP sightings. Yeah, I could see that. I mean, at least they're acknowledging the fact that these things are definitely moving in a way that we don't, or allegedly we don't.
Right. So they're admitting it is kind of weird and it is unusual enough to make them kind of raise an eyebrow.
Right. And I'll give them some points for that. My bullshit meter's at about 95% right now. It's lowered.
Better than most times this entire episode.
Yes. And finally, the task force holds a small amount of data that appear to show UAP demonstrating acceleration or a degree of signature management. Additional rigorous analysis are necessary, of course, by multiple teams or groups of technical experts to determine the nature and validity of these data. We are conducting further analysis to determine if breakthrough technologies were demonstrated. Wow. So, dude, holy shit.
I was going to say, that's not bad.
Well, I mean, dude, I was thinking the same thing. That whole paragraph, they had me like, oh, they're going to look into it further. But then that last sentence, dude, to determine if breakthrough technologies were demonstrated. So they're basically only going to research to see if fucking Russia's doing it. They're not even going to look to see if it's like otherworldly.
Well, I think, but that doesn't necessarily mean it can't be otherworldly. They're saying breakthrough technology, as in maybe the reason we can't explain this is because the technology is beyond us right now. It's breakthrough.
Breakthrough
So
for us.
Yeah.
For humans. So like maybe Russia is the first one to break it. But I don't know, man. I mean, they, like we said, their rhetoric is tearing us apart, Taster. This is the one episode that we must stick together and fight the oppression. All right. Don't let them fool us. Okay. Let's agree to disagree on what that means.
Yeah.
Because I want us to stay friends.
Oh, absolutely. Well, no, I'm siding on the fact that they might be hinting that it could be something otherworldly without saying it's otherworldly. They're just saying that what they're seeing and what they can't explain, part of the explanation outside of it just being their sensors and all that stuff, could be that there's just something at work that we haven't discovered yet, or something at work that's like beyond us, which could mean anything. Like, it's a very broad statement, yes, but that does not, completely, brush aside UFOs. It's them kind of poking at it without poking at it. If I'm going to give them that benefit of the doubt.
I was going to say, let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Let's assume that they mean breakthrough technologies as in just in our perception, not necessarily as a race, like a human race.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Right, fair. Okay.
You feel the blood pressure going down a little?
A little bit, dude. My left arm started going a little numb. It started smelling burnt toast, dude. This episode's gonna give me a goddamn heart attack.
Entirely possible. Okay, so the next section here is titled UAP probably lack a single explanation. Now, right out the gate, how does that make you feel?
My blood pressure's now rising again. I mean, I know what they mean. Like, I know, but okay, because I know what they're trying to say. Yes,
right.
Not every single one of these things in the sky is an alien, but
right.
I know that's where they're going. So,
let's see. The UAP documented in this limited data set demonstrate an array of aerial behaviors, reinforcing the possibility there are multiple types of UAP requiring different explanations. Our analysis of the data supports the construct that if and when individual UAP incidents are resolved, they will fall into one of 5 potential explanatory categories, as we discussed before: airborne clutter, natural atmospheric phenomenon, USG or industrial developmental programs, foreign adversary systems, and a catch-all, quote-unquote, other bin. With the exception of one instance where we determined with high confidence that the reported UAP was airborne clutter, specifically a deflating balloon, we currently lack sufficient information in our data set to attribute incidents to specific explanations.
What a load of shit. What a load of shit. And they're going to go into each one in detail, I bet. And they're going to just start whistling out their ass about all these different categories, huh?
Yes, they do. So here now we have the definition of that list of, as they called, potential explanatory categories. We have airborne clutter, which is defined as birds, balloons, recreational unmanned aerial vehicles, UAV, or airborne debris like plastic bags that model a scene and affect an operator's ability to identify true targets such as enemy aircraft.
Plastic bags. So this is where we come to 2021 disclosure. Guess what, assholes? All you fucking UFO nerds. It's a Ralph's bag that you threw out in your car on the way home from the grocery store.
Do you ever feel like a plastic bag blocking UAV sensors in the military?
God, I fucking hate this. I hate this so much. Birds? Really, birds too, huh? So you're telling me that you can't tell the difference between a highly technological UFO and a fucking seagull? Okay, good.
Just a bird that got caught up in a fucking like turbine, shredded to pieces, and is just like caught in an updraft. And that's what they're saying this might be.
Man, I'm so glad that I pay my taxes and that it's going to such great research because I have a bunch of idiots with short hair who are probably closeted homosexuals in the military who don't know the difference between a plastic bag and an alien spaceship. Okay, no, good.
Oh, wow. That's exactly the type of outburst I kind of expected.
I can't fucking believe this. I'm gonna have a goddamn aneurysm.
Maybe on the air, and then we'll get banned.
Yeah, no, if I die in the air, leave it in. I want everybody
Yeah.
to know how I died. I want everybody to know the U.S. military killed me indirectly.
You amongst many others, I'm sure.
Oh my God.
But so there's more. Natural atmospheric phenomenon, which they describe as includes ice crystals, moisture,
Ice crystals?
and thermal fluctuations that may register on some infrared and radar systems. So they're saying, there's some shit that froze over that might show up and appear to be something physical, but is not.
I'm not in the military. I don't know how these sensors work, but guys, that's the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. Ice crystals and moisture.
Basically, they're saying, technology is fallible, and it's more sensitive and more less reliable than we think.
All right, fine. We can move on. All right. Yeah, Jesus.
Well, here, this one's for USG or industrial developmental programs. Some UAP observations could be attributable to developments and classified programs by U.S. entities. We were unable to confirm, however, that these systems accounted for any of the UAP reports we collected. So they're basically saying it's probably not a U.S. program. It's probably not us.
Or they don't want us to know it's them. Or some of them.
Because they say it could be and unable to confirm. So it's a lot of maybe going on.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. I'm sure that's all they're going to give us anyway. Unbelievable.
Yep. Expected. Foreign adversary systems. Some UAP may be technologies deployed by China, Russia, another nation, or a non-governmental entity. Yeah, nice name drop.
Yeah, why would you? Like, I noticed they left out North Korea.
Yeah, interesting. And they put everything else in the other. They're very. You got to give them credit. They're being very strategic with how they're wording all this.
I've seen less tiptoeing in a fucking ballet play.
It's quite. It's like being a kid and trying to sneak past your mom after bedtime to get the Oreos in the cabinet. It's just nothing but sneaky sneaks to get to hide the real prize.
Oh, God, I'm going to have a fucking stroke.
Yep. But of course, your favorite one, the last one, the other section. Although most of the UAP described in our data set probably remains unidentified due to limited data or challenges to collection processing or analysis, we may require additional scientific knowledge to successfully collect on, analyze, and characterize some of them. We would group such objects in this category pending scientific advances that allowed us to better understand them. The task force intends to focus additional analysis on the small number of cases where a UAP appeared to display unusual flight characteristics or signature management.
So by other, do they mean just completely, there's here's my question. What's the point of the categories if all of it's unknown?
Basically, they're saying if it's moving in a way that is just so outside of physics or what our generalized standard understanding of things, they put them in other because they're well, it could be like we kind of talked about before, something more advanced than what we've discovered, or maybe not. We don't know if it's something more advanced or not. So that's why they're putting it in other.
All right. I mean, it's a really bad move, but okay. I mean,
I'm sure there are some cases where that does make sense, where they're just this truly might just be beyond us. And this is just something either hasn't been discovered yet, or it's just some maybe a part of physics that hasn't been quite explored quite yet. And people trained in the military, they're not really qualified to really give a take on it because they're not, not all of them are super specialists on this stuff. I'm sure they do have specialists there, but also too, it is a very convenient backpedal, like catch all, like they said in their words, catch all for everything else.
Yeah, I noticed there wasn't a category for aliens.
Yep, interesting. Yeah. The others is just the big kind of section.
I don't know. I'm too lazy to look into it, man. I don't know. I'm too busy cheating on my wife with fucking Vietnamese whores. I don't have time to look into this shit.
Oh, their traps must be sore from all the shoulder shrugs they've been doing.
That's right. And not to disparage any military personnel. Thank you for your service. It's your superiors I'm mad at.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's a good thing to point out.
All right, next section, everybody. It is entitled UAP Threaten Flight Safety and Possibly National Security. UAP pose a hazard to safety of flight and could pose a broader danger if some instances represent sophisticated collection against U.S. military activities by a foreign government or demonstrate a breakthrough aerospace technology by a potential adversary. Notice there's no mention of aliens again. They're basically just saying it's either somebody here fucking with us or it's somebody in a different country fucking with us.
Yeah, they've given no indication of any sort of possibility of this being anything outside of our planet. That's basically the thing they're saying is whatever it is, it's probably from Earth. Probably.
I want to give these guys such wedgies. I just
give them the bring the noogie back just for them.
Honestly, man, like I'm thinking after we've been going through this report, I have more respect for furries than I have for these guys. And that's saying something because I think furries need to be rounded up and systematically executed.
Right. And that's some weight. There's some weight to that statement.
Whew. Oh boy. I feel like I'm sitting on hot coals right now. Okay. First subheading, ongoing aerospace concerns. When aviators encounter safety hazards, they are required to report these concerns. Depending on the location, volume, and behavior of hazards during incursions on ranges, pilots may cease their tests and or training and land their aircraft, which has a deterrent effect on reporting. With a little subpoint here that says, the task force has 11 reports of documented instances in which pilots reported near misses with a UAP.
So basically they're saying like, the minute there's something weird, we're not going to engage it. We're not going to we're just going to land and see what that logic and that action can have an impact and an effect on what went down, basically.
Well, and it also is going to have an effect on finding out what the hell it is, because if you don't engage it, you're just going to say it's a plastic bag and we have to believe you. Like we're going to say Ralph's Ralph's bag decided to go up into one of the layers of the atmosphere where the fucking jets are flying. And it's just it's mind boggling. Shoot at it. See if it shoots back at you. You know what I mean? Come on. Don't be a bunch of pussies.
Well, who's to know? Because maybe if they did do that, as soon as they land, they got two guys and a pistol waiting for them.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. They're just taking their orders from the higher ups who think that it's a good idea to because they're hiding something. That's why they don't want us to engage with it, because they know what it is and they're hiding something, dude.
I feel like to you, this whole report is an experience similar to being jerked off with sandpaper.
It's like that. It's like being jerked off with heavy grade sandpaper, but also at the same time having somebody kind of do that rubbing thing on your urethra,
Owie.
All right. And the second and final header of this section, potential national security challenges. We currently lack data to indicate any UAP are part of a foreign collection program or indicative of a major technological advancement by a potential adversary. We continue to monitor for evidence of such programs given the counterintelligence challenge they would pose, particularly as some UAP have been detected near military facilities or by aircraft carrying the USG's most advanced sensor systems.
So, a lot of pussyfooting still.
Dude, because what have they been talking about this entire time? The fact that it could maybe be a foreign country with their advanced technology, and now they're saying we don't think it is.
Wow. Classic government.
Good God, man. I don't know what to believe anymore. I'm gonna throw up a little bit in my mouth, I think.
Yeah, because they're basically saying in every single front, well, we just lack sufficient data.
Man, oh man, their receptionist needs a raise because she did a really good job. Or it could be a
Yeah,
dude.
she
I'm not
did.
saying all receptionists are ladies. All right, just traditionally they're much nicer to people, and you know.
we can think of this as an exercise of how many synonyms to inconclusive you can work into an essay.
Yes, and they've done a damn good job. Damn good. They should be teaching at a university.
It's pretty bad, but I think here is the next step is like the final major point before the rest of it is just like appendix with like definitions and something about like report bullshit. But so this will be the last juicy bit, I imagine.
I think so.
Okay, so it's called Explaining UAP Will Require Analytic Collection and Resource Investment. So this is the hey guys, if you want some more, if we want to get a little bit more in depth, you know, here's some.
Let's raise our taxes, huh?
Yeah, there it is, and that's probably the whole point of this goddamn report was just say like, well, if you gave us more money, maybe we could give you more info. This is a fucking one big cash grab.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
Yeah, because if we give them more money to do more research, they're going to give us another report in another 20 years that says, "Oh, it was the Hamburglar. The Hamburglar's been a UFO the whole time." And it's like, "Oh, well, my God, really?"
Mm-hmm. Or more or less the same thing. We're going to be paying them a lot of money for them to not do anything, and then they're going to funnel it into just I don't know oil interest in the Middle East again or whatever whatever people they're trying to kill this year.
Yeah.
Jesus. Okay. Standardize the reporting, consolidate the data, and deepen the analysis. In line with the provisions of Senate Report 116-233, accompanying the IAA for fiscal year 2021, the task force long-term goal is to widen the scope of its work to include additional UAP events documented by a broader swath of USG personnel and technical systems in its analysis. As the data set increases, the task force ability to employ data analytics to detect trends will also improve. The initial focus will be to employ artificial intelligence / machine learning algorithms to cluster and recognize similarities and patterns and features of the data points. As the database accumulates information from known aerial objects such as weather balloons, high altitude or super pressure balloons,
What is
and wildlife, machine learning can add efficiency to pre-assessing UAP reports to see if those records match similar events already in the database. Bullet point here says the task force has begun to develop interagency analytical and processing workflows to ensure both collection and analysis will be well informed and coordinated. So I think what they're saying is we want to invest time and money into devices that can automatically detect like balloons and all that bullshit, so we don't even have to like waste time trying to figure that out. So basically, we want to develop a system so we like that horseshit isn't even an excuse they can have anymore. Their tech has been like they have, as they say, machine learning technology that could be like, no, that was just a bird. No, that's in line with, so they don't have to keep on cross-referencing.
Okay, so this is potentially a good thing for us then.
Yeah, actually very much so.
Okay, all right. So I think I misinterpreted it first. It's good to know that they're trying. I thought they were talking about like, you know what I mean?
I love how triggered you are at the word weather balloon.
It's just ever since Roswell, I'll never live it down. It's just I can't listen to anybody saying weather balloon. Like, what is a weather balloon? You know what I mean?
I think a balloon with a little detector in it to kind of get like up close and personal in like a thunderstorm or something.
And now here's my problem with that. I'm pretty sure I know what a balloon looks like. Okay,
right.
It doesn't look like you. It does not look like an alien spaceship.
Right.
So why do they need special technology to say, oh shit, that's not a balloon? I think they're pulling our legs, man. I think they're pussyfooting around the problem.
Most of this is that, but let's see what else they have to say. The majority of UAP data is from U.S. Navy reporting, but efforts are underway to standardize incident reporting across U.S. military services and other government agencies to ensure all relevant data is captured with respect to particular incidents and any U.S. activities that might be relevant. The task force is currently working to acquire additional reporting, including the U.S. Air Force, and has been thus receiving data from the Federal Aviation Administration, or the FAA. So this section actually should be a little bit more hopeful for you, Nick, because basically they're saying, one, we want to develop systems that can just immediately rule out weather balloons and just natural bullshit. And two, they're saying a lot of the reporting on UFOs has mostly been Navy, and we want to broaden that spectrum to more of the like the Air Force and stuff like that. So that way that we'll have more, basis of information. So basically they're saying we're inconclusive, but this is what we're doing about it. So this is the part of them actually saying they do want to expand the program and they do want to expand the intake of information. So that way the next report may be less inconclusive.
Right. And I see what I know.
It's their sales pitch.
I know now they're trying to they broke our hearts with like a majority of what we read. Now they're trying to mend it a little bit. I see what they're doing. I'm not going to say I'm happy about it, but at least they're, if this is 100% true, because they could just be saying this and we'd have no idea.
Right.
But if they are doing this, then okay, that is at least a step in the right direction.
Right. And even if they aren't, at least they're pretending to care. It's something.
Oh, fucking better not be pretending, man, because, oh, buddy.
Well, and there's 3 bullet points here. The first says, although the U.S. Air Force data collection has been limited historically, the U.S. Air Force began a 6-month pilot program in November 2020 to collect in the most likely areas to encounter UAP and is evaluating to normalize future collections, reporting, and analysis across the entire Air Force. So again, a lot of it is because they're not looking into it because it's alien or extraterrestrial, as they're saying. They're looking into it because it's made them stop their training programs. It's made them have their pilots land. It's stuff that could possibly get in the way of their usual day-to-day operations. So they're taking it more seriously because they are admitting whatever the fuck it is, it's costing them money and they don't like it.
Yeah, it sounds like a good motivation. It sounds like a usual motivation for the military and the government to do anything. Fine. Okay.
Yep, sure. Second bullet point says the Federal Aviation Administration captures data related to UAP during the normal course of managing air traffic operations. The these acronyms. Federal Aviation Administration generally ingests the data when pilots and other airspace users report unusual or unexpected events to the FAA's air traffic organization. So they're basically saying we're just getting what we get from our traffic operations. We're not we don't have dedicated instruments for this.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So excuses. Bullet point number 3 says, in addition, the FAA continuously monitors its systems for anomalies, generating additional information that may have been used to the task force. The FAA is able to isolate data of interest to the task force and make it available. The FAA has a robust and effective outreach program that can help the task force reach members of the aviation community to highlight the importance of reporting UAP. So again, it's we don't have the instruments, but we are getting these odd readings and sending it off to the task force. So there is basically the big meat and potatoes. This whole thing is we do have a task force now that is actively trying to get as much data as we can and develop better systems to get better information to better determine what the fuck is going on.
It's a step in an okay direction, but they should have been doing this 70 years ago.
Yep. Or, while there actually was major UFO sightings, because like you said, 2000, too little, too late is kind of what it's sounding like.
Yeah. And just because now it's a problem for their money and their training, because that's all they care about. It's just, God, there's
flustering, huh?
I'm at a loss, man. I'm at a loss for words with all the shit that we've been put through with this report.
Yeah, well, we got 2 more little sections here. One says expand collection. The task force is looking for novel ways to increase collection of UAP cluster areas when U.S. forces are not present as a way to baseline quote-unquote standard UAP activity and mitigate the collection bias in the dataset. One proposal is to use advanced algorithms to search historical data captured and stored by radar. The task force also plans to update its current interagency UAP collection strategy in order to bring to bear relevant collection platforms and methods from the DoD and the IC. So more or less, they're just kind of saying the same thing over and over again. It feels like
they're so they're saying that that they're trying to come up with a way to look at past data.
Yeah,
which is cool. It's good. Yeah, but I'm still disappointed in them that they didn't do this so long ago. You know what I mean? Like, this is something that should have been taken seriously long ago.
Yeah, like you said, too little, too late. It's just sort of, that's great that they actually have something and like have found an excuse to take this somewhat seriously, but like, it just doesn't really seem like it's going in the direction we want it to. And the final little section here, increase investment in research and development. The task force has indicated that additional funding for research and development could further the future study of the topics laid out in this report. Such investment should be guided by a UAP collection strategy, UAP research and development technical roadmap, and a UAP program plan.
It sounds like I'm just subscribing to something at the end there. They're like, hey, choose one of these plans and pay us $100 million a month and we can, maybe we'll look at his plastic bags and shit for you.
Yep. It's basically this whole report, in essence, is a big fat money grab for a program that really just sits around with their thumbs up their asses, reading through reports of bullshit and maybe finding something interesting. And then when they find the something interesting, they pussyfoot around it and they just say it can't be aliens. So the rest of this is appendix, and I'm scanning through it now. It's not really anything of interest, I think, to what we are talking about. All it's just saying is timely data. This is an official account. Identification of aerospace and other threats. The UAP national security assessment. It may be attributed to foreign adversary. It's more or less just the same thing we talked about, but in short.
It's like a summary at the end there. So it's just like, so if you guys really want to see those last 2 pages, which trust me, you don't, you could look at it yourself, but that's it for the report. It was just about as disappointing as I, expected.
Bigger letdown than your first softball game, huh?
Yeah, man. Both for me and my dad, dude. You should have seen how let down he was when I couldn't hold a bat right. But good God.
Oh, good. Wow. That was, I'm glad we went through it though. That was, I think it was very important that we did a very like in-depth, pick apart. And I feel like, we stumbled on a lot of good stuff there. It was very, very analytical of us.
It was analytical. And, if somebody out there is reading the report or listening along with the report and interpreted it a different way, that's fine. Because remember, there's flowery bureaucratic language was used to create that report. And there are some things that are not 100% clear. So if you, if you saw something different, hey, let us know what you think that they said. But I mean, you guys heard our takes on it. You guys heard how disappointed I was. Tasker even sounds disappointed, and he's not really, like into this shit as much as I am. And I think that's saying something.
Would have been nice to get a little bit of an acknowledgement, but hey, I guess it is what it is.
So, I mean, damn, that's it, guys. That's what we've been waiting for.
Whoop-de fucking do. Way to go, American government.
We waited for a 9-page sales pitch. So
literally, yeah. And a masterclass in synonyms.
Yeah. I mean, whoever wrote that really should be getting a raise. That was impressively deceiving. So good job.
They did a good job. Very manipulative, very mind gamey.
And it did take a little bit longer than we initially thought it would because there was so much bullshit to pick apart. So yes, we do have a second part of this episode. I will be going through it quicker than initially thought, but it's something I really thought I should bring to some of your attention.
Yeah, especially after all that disappointment. Let's talk about a UFO sighting.
Yes, a recent one, in case some of you out there have not seen it yet. So I'm going to bring it up. If you guys want to look it up, I'll let you know how to find it. But let's get into it. So like Tasker said, now that we're all thoroughly disappointed, let's move into this final section of the episode and talk about a recently released UFO sighting video. Now, although I did describe this sighting as recently released, it was not recently sighted. That's something I should point out right away.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's just, in my opinion, that means it's just another piece of evidence that the government is basically just keeping too much shit from us, as we all know, because this video, they've been sleeping on it, or has been slept on, I should say, for since July 15th of 2019. So pretty much exactly 2 years ago. And of course, much like many of these UFO videos coming to light and recorded by the U.S. military, like it mentioned in the report itself, they admitted it. It was, again, the Navy that witnessed it. Something going on with the fucking Navy and UFOs.
They're the only ones reporting shit. Very interesting.
Now, this particular video was taken by the U.S. Navy off of the coast of Southern California while on board the USS Omaha. All right. It's one of our big naval combat ships. And I should also point out, of course, the video wasn't released by the government because they were hiding it from us. It was actually leaked by a man named Jeremy Corbell. So Corbell, some of you out there might know him. He is a filmmaker and has been on the forefront of the truth for the last few years.
I've never heard of him.
I recommend looking up some of his stuff. Some of it's on Netflix. Some of it's on Hulu, I believe. He makes documentary style films that have to do with like getting to the bottom of mysterious phenomena. That's kind of his thing.
I see.
And for instance, he was the one behind the Hunt for the Skinwalker documentary, which was based off of the book by the always badass George Knapp. Corbell was also the one behind the fantastic documentary Bob Lazar, Area 51, and Flying Saucers. It's on Netflix still, I believe. If you guys haven't seen it, watch that shit.
So yeah, is this a required watching?
Absolutely, dude. Because everybody thinks Area 51's like a scapegoat for the government. Be like, oh, they think it's all at Area 51. Bob Lazar worked at Area 51. He worked on reverse engineering extraterrestrial crafts at Area 51. Watch the documentary. Fucking nuts.
Interesting.
Anyway, so Corbell, he's also been known to get his hands on videos his hands should not be on. I don't know how he does it, but he is able to get UFO videos that were filmed by the military, and basically leak it to the public. Like the last few that we've seen, the last few big ones have been because of him. Now, and that includes the video in question that I'm talking about here today. So this video in particular, if you want to watch it while I describe it, look up. You could do it on Google. You could do it on YouTube. Look up U.S. Omaha Swarm UFOs. That's all you have to look up. You will find the video. And now, if you're looking for the right thumbnail, it's nighttime. So black background with like red-orange lights. That's the one you want to look for.
UFOs seen swarming around. I'm seeing like circles and shit.
Yeah, they like red-colored lights, like a lot of little ones.
Let's see. I see a lot of yellow. Yeah, kind of hard to find, but if we find it, we'll post it on like our Discord.
Yeah, and I'll post. Yeah, we'll post it up there for you guys when this episode drops, so you can watch it while I describe the video and just kind of like a brief description. So the background of the video is almost pitch black because it was taken at night. So that's what you're looking for. And the reason it's referred to as a swarm video is because there were around 14 UFOs counted in the video. Okay. And those 14 UFOs really stand out because they are like orange red in color, which is interesting because a lot of the time when we see UFO videos, they're either like a generic white light or they're like a bluish white, you know?
Yeah.
But these guys, no, they got big balls. They're like red orange and they're definitely standing out. Now the video is highly interesting. We will be posting it on our Discord and on social media, a link to it if we can do that for you guys. And now, like I said before, Jeremy Corbell has leaked many UFO videos from the Navy, and that kind of leads me to my next and final point. Something is going on in the oceans of the Earth. Okay, it's plain and simple. Why are all of these videos being taken by the Navy while they're on the ocean? Like, it's not like on like land bases that they're taking like videos. No, most of these videos we're seeing are from battleships, like on the ocean, like in the middle of the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? Initially, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, it makes me think of our USO episode because unidentified submerged. And I think we even kind of went into that a little bit about how, like, you know, there might be more of a basis of extraterrestrials in water, which also, too, you got to point out the unique thing about Earth and our solar system is we're the only planet covered with water. We're just the only one. So maybe there's a fascination with that. And that would explain why the Navy tends to get more UFO sightings than anybody else.
My thoughts exactly. And I stand by the opinions I had in the USO episode because I personally believe that I don't know which alien race it is, but I believe an alien race or multiple have bases in our oceans, like deep in our oceans. I mean, there are videos out there, recently released videos of, and Tasker, I've shown you a couple of these, of UFOs flying stupid fast near the shore, like the ocean, the top of the water. What do you call that? I've had a brain. The surface.
Yeah.
The surface.
Yeah.
Fucking retarded. What's the top of water?
That'll be a good quote to have for our podcast anniversary.
The top of the water is so dumb. There's videos filmed by the Navy, and not just our Navy, but navies in Mexico that I've seen, of them flying really, really fast on the surface, and all of a sudden they'll dip into the water, right? But when they dip into the water and they break the surface, there's no splashes, there's no waves created. They just kind of melt into the water. And it makes me think that they're kind of used to going in and out of the water without making a scene. And that leads me to believe and stick by my theory that there are underground bases in our oceans.
Well, and also too, hydrophobic material it's a thing, you know, and it just cut through with no splash and stuff. That could be hydrophobic material.
Yeah, but man, I'm telling you, there's something going on down there. And it makes me think, like, I feel like, and now I'm not a scientist, guys, I don't know if I can confirm this, but I feel like it's a lot more difficult for us to explore and traverse the deepest parts of our ocean than it is our own solar system.
Yeah. I've heard similar cases because that pressure is whack.
It's whack, man. And once you go down there, you're probably going to die. And so, like, I feel like it's the perfect hiding spot. It's the perfect place to set up camp for these fucking aliens who we may or may not be working with that just come in and out of the water. And since their home base is in the ocean, of course, we're going to get more. The Navy's going to get more film of them because they're around the water all the time.
True. I mean, it does line up in terms of plausibility of if there were, for the sake of argument, extraterrestrial activity, the ocean's their safest bet. I mean, it's just like you said, we die if we get on there. A lot of it's unexplored, and we've made it very clear over the years that we're nowhere close to it. So, makes sense.
All I'm saying is, like, my final point here, and this is something that I wholeheartedly believe, is the fact that all these videos are coming out with our Navy, right? Our water-based military branch. I don't count the Coast Guard. Sorry, Coast Guard. All right, you guys are like water police, which is fine. Hey, never mind. Thank you for your service. Anyway, our water-based military branch is the ones getting the most UFO sightings and videos. I think, in my opinion, that's not a coincidence.
Yeah, I think that was probably the most enlightening thing from the report is the fact that it's not that, you know, that everyone else is seeing it and just shoving it away. It's like, no, most of it is the Navy seeing it because a lot of the activity tends to happen by the water. And that's something I think is interesting to look back into when it comes to like looking back at old alien sightings and stuff like that, is to, you know, see how many times there was a body of water involved or a lake nearby or some sort of, you know, something of that sort.
Yeah. And you're 100% right. A lot of UFO sightings are by bodies of water.
Very curious. Very curious.
Dude, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. Like, look, where I live, there's a big lake. big, stupid big, right? One of the biggest in the country, I think. And you can go onto UFOtracker.com and look at reports made by civilians of UFOs. And in near that lake, there are reports more so than where I live. So I'm just saying there's something about water. It doesn't necessarily have to be the oceans, but there's something about water that these fucking bug-eyed aliens love. And I'm not sure what it is.
But it's a start. We're narrowing it down a little bit. It's probably better than that's a realization that I feel like a lot of people back in like the 70s, 80s didn't quite. All they were doing was like, what the fuck, aliens? But now it's like, something about water is a little important to them. So we'll have to see.
I think what this is all telling us is M. Night Shyamalan was onto something with Signs, but maybe it's the opposite. Instead of the water hurting them, perhaps it empowers them.
Yeah, or it's something about it is of extremely heavy interest to them. So despite their best efforts, the Navy has not deterred us, and we seem to be trudging forward into the abyss to see, what it is that's really going on.
We will continue. We will take this report with a grain of salt, and we will continue our fight for the truth. Don't let this deter any of you out there. All of you UFO enthusiasts, basically wipe your ass with this report. We will continue to fight for it.
Exactly. And of course, I know there's also, and there's a part where I do admit there's a lot of bullshit in the air that could cause interference and attributing to the high number of reports, but also too, like I know with the Count Chocula's activity, that can also sort of create some sort of interference. So I'm betting there's at least 5 or 6 others. That's probably his fault.
Yeah. He seems to be all over the place. I wouldn't be surprised if he had an underwater base. And he might be working with them in order to conduct human experiments, gain more victims. I'm not sure, but I would not be surprised.
Yeah. Or if we're going on your Galactic Federation of Light angle, maybe they're actually trying to stop them actively just as much as we are.
Good point. I mean, I didn't even think about that. Holy shit. That's a good point.
Yeah, it's a possibility. They might actually be here to help us. And that's why they're getting so pissed at us trying to discover them, because they're like, bitch, I'm trying to save your life.
Count Chocula's here.
Yeah, the motherfucker himself. Like, we got to take him down. So hard to say for certain, but we do know that that's something we'll consider. Obviously, that's more speculation. We'll have a big section of that in the eventual episode. But Count Chocula himself, was a menace. We got the report going. That episode is coming soon. Don't worry about it. But if you are listening on iTunes, please 5-star written review. That would help us like a ton. Especially a written review, that would really help boost our numbers like crazy, get some more listeners. That would be fantastic. And so we can just keep on continuing to make episodes. And maybe someday we can afford to do the video recording. But
oh, yeah.
Maybe someday. But that is a paid service that we can't afford right now. Spotify, if you click that follow button, we have new episodes every single Wednesday, so you can get notified. Our Instagram is at CEOTPK. YouTube is Close Encounters of the Podcast Kind. Twitter is at CEOTPK1, Facebook, Close Encounters of the Podcast Kind, or Facebook.com/CEOTPK, where you will find all the before and upcoming links. You can email us at CEOTPK1@gmail.com. Our Discord is discord.gg/lowercase b, number 6, capital C, capital T, number 5, capital M, capital X. And if you feel the need to donate, you could go to ko-fi.com/CEOTPK. That's our coffee. It's our own personal tip jar if you feel the need to.
Yeah, thank you guys for listening. We appreciate it. We hope that you're just as outraged as we are with the report that we went over today.
Yeah, but it was a fun time. I was glad we were able to kind of like stay on the forefront of things, and I feel educated.
Yeah, we dissected it for you guys and for our own sakes. My blood pressure, I'm going to go eat now because my blood pressure is stupid high and I might pass out. But look, whether you think that UFOs are actually extraterrestrial beings or plastic Ralph's bags, the truth is out there.
Or if you think that the Navy was correct and, we're all just kind of being strung along, no, it's not. A king, primarily located in Africa.
Negus Negus.
That is correct. That little smile he has to him, just like, I'm gonna fucking lose all my friends over this.